Oh my god, look at that mummy's butt. It's not there because it's a skeleton wrapped in... I guess what I'm trying to say is there was a element of swashbucklery. That's a word I just came up with.
What's the Hold-Up?
Coming at you live, straight from the What's the Hold-Up studios, located in Heather and Zack's bedroom, right from the front row of Heather and Zack's Walmart bed. It's What's the Hold-Up? And let's see who our contestants are tonight. From Sandown, New Hampshire, age 33,
Glad you remembered.
a graduate of Timberlane High School and Bay Path College, the one, the only Heather Zagranis.
Oh, thank you. And our other contestant is a dashing 35. 36. How old are you?
Holy shit, 36! Fucking A, are you serious?
I couldn't remember if you were 35 or 36 for a second.
Babe.
I lost myself.
Babe, if the year ends in a 7, then until December, I'm the one below it. So if it's 2017, I'm 36. In 2018, I'll be 37.
Gotcha. Alright.
Okay?
Sure.
In 2019,
Or I could just remember that you're 3 years older than me.
I'll be 38. And
I'm 33, and
Yes.
that makes you 36.
And in 2020,
But I'm a big dum-dum.
I will still be 39 because I'm going to be 39 forever. I'm not ever going to... I'm a big dum-dum. Hello, dum-dum.
Hello.
That's what, the Flintstones?
Yeah.
The Great Gazoo.
Yes.
Anyways,
So, sorry. I fucked that up.
that's alright.
But you love me.
Oh, I do.
Sometimes.
I love you. Anyways, so how are you tonight, Heather?
I am fabulous.
Fabuloso. Por favor.
I just got done watching another movie.
That's excellent. You just watched the
Beauty and the
remake of
Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, didn't
Yes. And it was actually pretty good. I liked it.
you? Awesome.
I liked the music.
I'm glad you liked it, because I'll take your word for it, because I don't plan on ever watching it.
Oh, that's
Because
fine.
it looks like a hot piece of garbage to me.
Oh, whatever.
Speaking of remakes and hot pieces of garbage...
Oh,
Jinx.
this is the hottest piece of garbage of all.
Tonight, we're looking at the 1999, some would say, classic, The Mummy. The reason we decided to do this film, and I'll let Heather get to the specifics, the rundown of the film, the information,
The moving
in a minute,
picture.
the moving picture information in a second. But so we decided to, because we're, cheap whores and we wanted to, like, sell ourselves out and try to get more listeners. We were like, oh, there's a new Mummy coming out. Let's do the fucking Mummy with Brendan Fraser. And apparently this new Mummy is sucking balls. Like, it's
garbage.
doing really bad. It's got, like, a 23% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. So, Heather... Give us... Oh, I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
Which I love, because Tom Cruise...
I was going to say, because you hate Tom Cruise.
It's just a hot mess.
Except, what movie was he good in?
Oh, Magnolia.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
great in
absolutely.
Magnolia.
That's my...
Maybe because he was playing a dick bag?
Oh, well, absolutely.
Was
yeah,
it,
he's... Oh, what was it? What did he say?
It wasn't Tame the Cock, right?
No, it was Tame the Cunt.
Tame the Cunt, but it was something the cock, like...
Yeah.
Used, I don't know, like harness the cock, tame the cunt, something like that. I don't know, it was hilarious, though.
Oh, he was great. That and, Tropic Thunder.
Oh my god, he was amazing in Tropic Thunder. Okay,
good.
so he can be alright, but most things, average fucking, action movie things.
Most things in the last, 10 or 15 years have been kind of garbage from him.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. He's just a walking, talking pile of garbage.
And yet, I haven't seen it, but I have heard that Edge of Tomorrow is really good.
I've heard that that's good.
So
I've heard
I'm gonna have to actually check
all the
that
Mission
out.
Impossible movies are great. I have heard very good things.
No, me too, but I don't know. I'm still just not a fan of him.
Yeah.
In general, Scientology, you don't need antidepressants, you can just fucking believe in Xenu. Xenu, space warrior princess.
Yeah.
And just,
that.
Measure my theta waves, or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh my god.
Isn't it
even matter.
Theta beams, or they measure some shit, they have that weird...
They do. It's
ridiculous.
midichlorians, okay?
Midichlorians, yes! Scientology measures midichlorians.
Yes. The Jedi are just Scientologists.
Fuck you ripping on my Star Wars.
Pieces of shit.
Bastard.
Anyway.
Let's have the deets for the Momie.
The Moomy.
The Mumie.
The Moomy. 1999, as we said.
Tum-tum.
Starring Brendan Fraser, Handsome Devil, Rachel Weisz, and John Hannah.
Who? John Hannah?
John Hannah actually is bigger in England.
His head looks pretty
than
big.
He is over here.
Who's the guy that plays Emotep or whatever?
Arnold Vosloo?
Yeah. I remember he was in a bunch of things at the time. Wasn't he in Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo?
He might have been, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Ugh. But
and Eric Avari, who's in...
Oh, I've seen him in a bunch of stuff too. I think he's the... Wait. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he might be the Wheezin' the Juice guy from Encino Man.
And then Jonathan Hyde.
No, Wheezing the Juice.
Oh, boy.
Anyways, what was the tagline? Summer, get wrapped up in adventure. Oh my god, if it's something like that, I'm gonna be so happy.
Oh my god. No, the sands will rise, the heavens will part, the power will be unleashed. That's the tagline.
I like mine better.
Yeah.
This summer, prepare to get wrapped up in adventure.
And the
Mummy, coming in July.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
An American serving in the French Foreign Legion on an archaeological dig at the ancient city of Hamunaptra accidentally awakens a mummy. Son of a gun.
Well, and then they're off.
Indeed.
Yeah, this movie, interesting. This movie was an attempt by Universal to so basically the same thing they're doing with the Mummy, this new Mummy, is they're attempting to create their dark universe, which is their version of a shared universe. And it may sound like they're ripping off Marvel, but the truth is Universal actually did it first, back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. With
Universal had a universe?
Exactly, yeah. The Universal universe.
Haha.
I know, right? Why aren't they calling it that? Why the dark universe? Exactly. Speaking of hot pieces of garbage. But anyways, so yeah, they had a shared universe back then, starting with Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, and then House of Dracula and House of Frankenstein both had all of the monsters. And then
big block party.
Pretty much.
With all their houses.
Yes. And no. And then that's a cul-de-sac. Damn it. Cul-de-sac squatch? I don't know. Is Sasquatch even a monster? I don't know. You got me off topic.
I'm sorry.
And then they had the Abbott and Costello meets the monsters and all that shit. But they have tried many times over the years to reboot their monster franchises, and this Mummy series is possibly the only successful attempt. Well, so let me run down these. So there was Van Helsing, which if successful, they were going to use that too. That's why in the movie Van Helsing, with Hugh Jackman and the vampire lady there. What is her name?
Beckinsale?
Yes, thank you, Kate Beckinsale. That's why they had like Dracula, the Wolfman, and or a werewolf at least, and Frankenstein in it. But that did horribly. So that went nowhere. A couple of years ago, they tried with Dracula Untold. That was supposed to start a whole thing. And that didn't go anywhere. It was sort of like DC's Green Lantern, where they were going to use it to start a thing. Like, there was little hints of other monsters in it, but it did so horribly that they were like, fuck it, scrap this.
Yeah.
There was a House of Frankenstein miniseries, apparently, in 1997. There was the 2010 The Wolfman with Benicio del Toro that wasn't that great. I wanted it to be awesome, but it wasn't that great. Because what I liked about it was they were going back to the original design of the Wolfman, which you hardly see anymore. Yeah. Granted, because it doesn't look so much like a wolf, but still. But that didn't do very well. Apparently, there was also a cartoon called Monster Force, where teenagers had to fight monsters. Yeah. Which also leads me to think of the Monster Squad, possibly the best joining of all of those properties together. Yeah. Not a Universal film, though.
No.
It was a Sony, TriStar, which was Sony's, film division before they just started calling it Sony. Interestingly enough, which I wonder if that's why they had to make it slightly different. Like, Frankenstein's electrodes were coming out of his head and not his neck. And they didn't call it the Creature from the Black Lagoon, they just called it the Gill Man.
Right.
But they definitely said Wolfman, though.
They did.
They didn't say werewolf.
Man's got nards.
Because Wolfman's got nards. One of the best lines in 80s movie history. And my name is Horace.
You know what I just thought of? There's another movie that's kind of like that.
Yep.
It's the Halloween That Almost Wasn't. It's got all these characters in it.
The Halloween That Almost Wasn't, yes, but that's definitely more of a cheesy
it definitely is.
But yeah, so this Mummy series is one of the few successful times that they tried to redo it. And even that went downhill pretty... I remember... So I guess if we're going to get into it, I don't remember a ton about this movie. And I'll get into specifics I'll get into the Pacific Ocean in a second and then freeze to death because it's too cold. No, I'll get into specifics in a second. But I remember seeing The Mummy Returns in the theater. Oh. And that... Because that was 2001, I think?
I think so.
And, right off the bat with that, I was like, oh, this isn't that great. Mm-hmm. And then obviously it was a few years before the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor came out. And that I didn't even see. Did you see the third one?
No.
No. And I tried to watch The Scorpion King, but...
I saw The Scorpion King.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, well...
And I love... What's his fucking face there?
The Rock?
Yeah.
Huh?
No. Bad.
Yeah. The Mummy Returns was The Rock's first movie, too. That CGI scorpion thing he is at the end is still some of the worst CGI ever put on film. So what do you remember about The Mummy? Get down to the nitty-gritty. Nitty-gritty.
Oh, I mean... I remember enjoying it. I've seen it numerous times, usually when it's on TV. I remember the mummy itself, like, not looking very great. He was kind of, like, cheesy looking.
Yeah.
But,
well, for 1999.
Yeah, for 1999. Yeah, not too bad. But, I mean, the rest of the effects were pretty good.
I still remember thinking that big face that comes in the sand looking really good. Like, being like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. And it was a nice mixture of, kind of, like, suspenseful, scary, and a little bit of wit.
Yeah, isn't it played almost like a... Now, I don't remember much about the original, but isn't it played kind of like an Indiana Jones type, like...
Yeah.
Adventure, tomb raiding kind of, thing?
Yeah, basically. And I liked... I remember seeing... I remember they have in the movie the background as to why Imhotep is cursed, and like they show the flashback.
Didn't he sleep with someone he wasn't supposed to?
Yeah, basically.
Never dip your pen in the company ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he sleep with like the king's wife or something? Because isn't that who comes back in the second one? Because I know in the second one, there's a whole thing about he resurrects, like, his queen or something.
Yep. Yeah, I forget who she is, But, yeah. It's
Well, I
kind of
know-
sad. You kind of feel bad for Imhotep.
Yeah.
It's really for love. You kind of feel bad.
Now, is this movie the one with all the little scarab beetles on the floor? And, like, they, like, pick someone's flesh off in, like, seconds, so they all have to,
Yes.
like, sort of step on the, like, walls or bricks or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, don't they come out of a little hole in the wall or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do remember a little bit.
Yeah.
See, I'm getting this one and the second one mixed up. Because I know in the second one, there's a big thing where Rachel Weisz is, like, the reincarnation also of someone. Because, like, they show her and the other chick, like, fighting back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't... Or unless maybe it's in modern time. I don't know.
Yeah, she has something to do with it, but, like...
Yeah.
No.
In this one, I remember so little about... I don't even remember who she is in the first one.
She is...
In fact, until you said Foreign Legion thing, I didn't even know who he was. I thought he was just, like, Indiana Jones or something.
She's a historian.
Oh.
I believe.
So she's
or a
really
librarian.
old?
She's a historian and a librarian.
Oh, so she knows Noah Wiley.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You're bad.
I know. I'm very bad. Wait, no, I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Oh, boy.
That was a Cool World joke. Hollywood if she could. Anyways, we have fun.
So, yeah, that's what I remember, you know, Brendan Fraser and her, like, falling in love.
What happened to Brendan Fraser?
I know, what
I
the
loved
hell
Brendan
happened to Brendan
Fraser.
For real. Like, I liked him a lot. I don't know what happened to him.
I don't know either. I mean, after this, he was in, like, Blast from the Past, and...
That was alright.
Yeah, it was alright. And, George of the Jungle, which I liked, but you didn't.
Nope. Terrible.
And, Dudley Do-Right, which was obviously stupid.
Oh, boy.
And then I don't know what else he was in. Oh, wasn't he in that movie where Joe Pesci is homeless?
Yes.
And he's, like, comes to Harvard or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie's stupid.
Isn't that like School Ties?
School Ties, yeah.
That wasn't a terrible movie.
There's something else he was... Oh, Monkey Bone.
I never saw
Movie
Monkey
sucked
Bone.
so bad.
It looks bad.
I think I was mostly mad because I feel like I was tricked into seeing that because I thought it was by Tim Burton.
Yeah.
See, kids, back before the internet, everybody just assumed that Tim Burton directed The Nightmare Before Christmas. And before you get smart-ass and say, well, yeah, before the internet, but weren't there credits after the movie? Nobody reads that shit. The movie was called Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, okay? Everything about that fucking movie is Tim Burton-ish, okay? With honors, yeah.
Yeah, with honor. School Ties is another movie he's in.
Yes. However, Tim Burton didn't technically direct that movie. So when Monkey Bone came out, and they didn't say directed by so-and-so, they said directed by the director of The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now... Do you not think that was probably done on purpose? So that at least a few people would have been like, oh, fucking Tim Burton made this movie. And it's like a Tim Burton movie without any of the, like, goodness, I guess. I don't know, it's weird to explain.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I just saw? Nope, but on Airheads. He was in Airheads.
Yes, he
That's
was
right.
in Airhead.
And you know what was one of his first movies? I mentioned it earlier.
What, Encino Man?
Encino Man.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That is a good movie.
Yeah.
That one's good.
Bedazzled, that's right.
Oh,
Have you seen
yeah.
anything after that?
He's in a bunch of movies in 1999.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He was, you know what he was really good in? The last thing that I saw him in that he was great in was he did a few episodes of Scrubs as, Dr. Cox's brother-in-law. Yeah, his wife Jordan's brother. And one of the most moving episodes of a like, half-hour television series I've ever seen was he dies, and the episode where you find out that he dies, you don't find out until the end because Dr. Cox has been talking to him the whole time, and then you find out at the end that, like, JD's like, who are you talking to? You find out that, like, he already died, and they're at the funeral, and he's been, like, it's, I don't know, it's really, like, poignant and, like, you know.
Yeah.
You know, gives you the feelies, the touchy-feelies. But anyways, yeah, so... You have anything else to add about the mumsy?
No?
The mummy! Alright, maybe we should go and watch this biatch.
Let's do it.
Let's go and watch the mummy with Friend and Brazier. Friend and Brazier and Rachel Rice and Tutankhamun.
Yeah.
Timo Ep.
Timo.
Is this the whole bit? You're just gonna switch around the first letter of the names?
Yes.
Fuck you all.
That's all we got.
Yes, that's all I got right now. That's all I can stand, and I can't stand no more.
Oh boy.
I don't know. Alright, let's go watch
This
The
bitch.
Mummy. Like, oh my god, it's totally The Mummy. Like, oh god, The Mummy.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, look at that mummy's butt. It's not there because it's a skeleton wrapped in wrapping. So there's no fat for it to have a butt. Oh gosh. Alright, let's go on. It's just crickets just striking out all over the place. The crickets are striking out. You know why, Heather? Because crickets are too small to hold a bat. Who thought of having crickets play baseball? It's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Almost as dumb is that joke.
Yes.
Anyways.
And goodbye.
And goodbye. Good luck and good night. Alright, we'll be back.
Many men have wasted their lives in the foolish pursuit of Hamunaptra. Most have never returned.
I think you found something.
We call it the doorway to hell. Oh my god, it does exist.
You have unleashed the creature that we have feared for more than 3,000 years. It is the bringer of death. He will never stop.
Universal Pictures invites you on an extraordinary adventure beyond life and time.
Me?
No, the other you.
Well, hello there. We're back. Hi.
Hello.
So, The Mummy.
What about it?
Pretty neat. Pretty good.
Pretty cool.
Scared our 3-year-old a little bit.
Scared the shit out of him, yeah. Well, I didn't know if we were
Whoops.
going to jump right to that, but yeah, when we decided to do The Mummy to shamelessly cash in on, the new Mummy remake,
Right.
little did we know that it was going to suck ass and no one was going to go see it.
Let's be honest, we knew it was going to suck ass.
Yeah, truth be told, we had an inkling. Yeah. But when we decided to do The Mummy, all the things running through my mind, Face in the Sand, Brendan Fraser, is it Rachel Weisz or Rachel Weisz? The one that wasn't there was, I seem to recall at least 2 scenes of insects burrowing under people's skin and then running around under their skin. Didn't remember that part. And so our 3-year-old was rightly scared because that kind of fucking threw me off too. Yeah. I was like, oh, that happened. I didn't remember that.
What a
part.
good kid, though. He was like, this, it's not real, right? No, honey,
Didn't have the heart to tell him that,
It was funny. He woke up this morning and he was like, Mama, I liked The Mummy. I didn't like the bugs, though.
Yeah.
Especially when they went inside someone. I was like, I'm sorry, bud. He's like, I didn't like that. I know. Yeah. I didn't like that either.
That was a little bit
sorry.
more brutal than I remembered.
Yeah.
I didn't
notice
remember.
there wasn't a ton of blood, though.
No, so I wrote, there was a lot of implied and off-screen violence in this movie.
Yes.
So much so that I would almost make the case that, and I'm not one at all for any sort of censorship, but I would almost make the case that so many things were implied that there was almost no any sane person wouldn't see where there was much of a difference. Yeah. I guess, to put it that way. Like, any child watching this, like, well, there's no blood when that guy's tongue gets cut off, or,
No.
that person gets, there's no blood coming out of those empty eye sockets. it's only silhouettes of the guy getting stabbed and gutted by his, betrayed by his priest and his wife.
Or sucked dry by a sandstorm.
Yeah, so, clearly my child won't actually put two and two together and figure out what's going on. That was just really shocking to me. Not shocking in a like, oh my, I have the vapors. Why, I can't believe they would show such things.
My sensibilities.
My sensibilities, my sensitiveness. My sensitiveness. Just more shocked, like, oh, okay. I didn't remember this being such a brutal movie. Again, most of it on screen and cutting away, but, there's a tongue cut off, lots of stabbing. Brendan Fraser straight up murders at least like 20 people in this film. Not that they don't deserve it, but...
Oh yeah, they all deserve it. He tries to murder Benny a couple times.
Yeah.
Doesn't work, but most of it. And then the one time he tries to save him...
Yeah, when he straight up threw him off the boat, I was like, oh wait, he just left that guy to die.
He did.
Like, in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Benny left all of them to die.
Oh no, I'm not, I get
and
that.
Left Rick, especially, because he was, running into the opening and Benny closed it on him.
Right.
So...
Oh no, I totally get that. Well, he also, right, what about at the beginning? He fucking left him,
Well, that's what I mean. Like, he left him, and then he came back, but then decided to go hide again, and Rick was asking him not to close the door. What does he do? He closes the door on Rick and leaves him outside.
Also, that also leads me to my next point. This movie has 2 prologues.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
It works, though.
Yeah, it works. It's just weird that there's 2 prologues.
Right.
Like, when they cut to, 3 years later or whatever, after the second prologue, I was like, oh, that was a prologue, too.
Yeah.
So we have the one prologue that's, a few thousand years old. Mm-hmm. Then we have... 1,000 years or whatever. Then we have 1,000 years later with, Brendan Fraser's character and him finding the city of the dead. Then we get to 3 years later. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, this movie was, like I said, I didn't remember a lot about it. It was very, very Indiana Jones-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Not in a bad way. In fact, I guess it's one of those things where if you like the Indiana Jones movies... And there's only, at the time, there's only 3 of them, and you want to see more action like that, you really can't go wrong finding another movie, something like this that's like that.
Yeah.
If you like that. There was, I guess what I'm trying to say is there was a element of swashbucklery. That's a word I just came up with. It's a real word.
Swashbuckleness?
No, swashbucklery. Swashbuckleness. There was just an adventure... I like the word adventure because there really are no more adventure movies.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen a movie that I would categorize as an adventure movie, an adventure film.
Pirates?
Pirates of the Caribbean, yes, is definitely an adventure film. That's one of the few where there's been, some swashbuckling and actual, exotic locales and travel and, hopping from one thing to the other. And it's not just straight up action and it's not just straight up comedy. So, yes, Pirates probably. But Pirates falls under one of the other complaints I was going to... Not complaints about this film, but one of the things I was going to say about why a movie like this would not get made now. I don't mean a movie featuring a mummy, because, fuck, clearly that just got made. But no, I mean more a movie made in this way. They don't make movies like this anymore, where...
They don't make them like they used to.
They don't make them like that anymore. Sorry. Okay, anyways. No, let me tell you something. No, let me try to make my point. Okay. Everyone listening is like, yes, would you please? Any movie made today like this, okay, is going to have either overly complicated action scenes, okay, very quickly cut action scenes with some sort of like techno score, or even if it is more of a traditional score, it'd still be like these really quick cut action scenes. They'll do like the slow-mo into speed up thing, the speed ramping or whatever.
Yeah.
And all the humor is going to be... See, the thing, if the Mummy were made... And this is one of the things that Pirates falls into. If the Mummy were made today, it would be full of self-referential humor. It would be aware of itself.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Nothing gets made like this anymore where it takes itself at face value. There'd be too many winks and nods to the camera. And so I'll give the first Pirates film would be in this vein. But starting with the second one, you have things like the two bumblefuck pirates there, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, doing the whole like one eye and dirty hair, yeah. Doing the whole fucking like, is it craking or cracking? Like, oh, haha, it's funny because there's people in the audience having the same argument. And then later on, in real life, Johnny Depp's like, well, I partly based the character on Keith Richards. And so, oh, fuck, let's get Keith Richards to be Jack's dad. Isn't that hilarious? And again, stunt casting, and it's like, oh, it's so aware of itself. If they tried to do the Mummy now, it would just, like I said, there would be all those kind of like, aren't we clever, wink, wink kind of jokes. And it was very refreshing to see. I want to say like a dumb adventure movie, but I don't mean dumb in a bad way. Just like when I just said clever, I actually meant it as more of an insult. It's Bizarro World. Dumb is good and clever is bad. Oh, our secret word is stroke. I feel the toasterly winds are upon us. I don't know. We can't go an episode without. It used to be poop. Now it's always talking about strokes and toast. Strokes and toast. I'm gonna have my strokes and toast.
Oh my god!
It's like boats and hose.
Boats and hose.
Oh, strokes and toast. Oh, that needs to be a thing. Someone more talented than I turned that into a thing. But do you get what I'm saying though? Like, 'cause I feel like I'm just rambling on.
No, I get it.
They don't make movies like that anymore.
Yeah, and it's a fairly self-contained.
Yeah, I mean, and right, it was a self-contained story, and even though there's a sequel, even though there were sequels, right, it could have stayed as a one-off. And even though there are sequels, and I don't remember much about them,
The Mummy
it's still, at least with this one, it isn't very. Nah. I don't remember much about The Mummy Returns except for the
It's okay.
Horrible CGI Scorpion King. I know it's The Rock's first movie, and just seeing him all half
it's bad.
Fucking scorpion and half man, but it's really bad plastic looking. And it's one of those things with, well, it's 2001, what do you expect? But exactly, don't overreach. Don't try to do shit that doesn't look good yet.
Yeah.
I was actually very surprised with this movie. A couple things. First is how much CGI they actually used in places where I wasn't expecting it. Like at the beginning when they looked out and it was the whole background was CGI.
Yeah.
And that looked horrible. In fact, him standing in front of it was almost bad as someone standing in front of a matte painting or a rear projection. It really was. It was just a stark contrast. But then also later on, I have to say,
Him being
Imhotep, Emotep, whatever. But then later on, throughout the movie, I have to say some of the CGI actually holds up all right. Think back to 1999 and how you think, they couldn't have had that much for computer effects then, but then you realize, they had already done Casper, which had the first, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's the first main character that's all computer the whole way through.
Probably.
I know it predates, obviously, Jar Jar Binks and the Phantom Menace, which was the same year as The Mummy. And you would have Jurassic Park and all that. So, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that they were using it that much by 99. And yeah, I mean, some of it doesn't look that bad. The Mummy itself, Imhotep, when he was that weird, half It was so weird.
Melted mummy.
Yeah, I never realized. Well, it was like Hellraiser. I didn't remember it being like that. Where like he comes like semi-formed, some assembly required, and he just like sucks the essence out of people and leaves them like dried up husks. He's like a fucking spider, and just like leaves like the burnt out husk, and like slowly becomes more and more.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, that's just like Frank in Hellraiser.
It all ties back.
Yeah, exactly. It's all one circular thing.
Damn it, Frank.
God damn it. Way too many fucking bugs, though. I gotta say that. Scarab beetles and other shit.
Did you notice that it's Evie's fault that like all these people die?
Oh, because she read from the book?
Because she read from the fucking book. She's like, oh, oops.
Oh, yeah, that was another thing. I totally didn't remember there being
like,
a fucking Evil Dead fucking thing where
like
that happens. Yeah.
Only it was a super fancy one.
Super Famicom?
Yeah, Super Famicom.
Yeah, I totally forgot that, like, she was the cause of, Yeah,
I didn't realize that either. Like, for some reason, I didn't remember the books being part of any of this.
Yeah, it was like the Book of the Dead, and then the Golden Book was like, I don't know, the Book of Life or something?
Something like that. I can't remember now. But I thought what I remembered, you know, was that they found the mummy and, you know, his artifacts and whatnot, and he comes to life because they open the thing.
It's like Night at the Museum, right?
Sure.
No, I don't know.
Have you seen Night at the Museum?
No.
No. Fail.
No, I haven't.
Anyway, the first one's not too bad.
But, I mean, from the commercials, all I can gather is, I mean, it's pretty much just like The Mummy, right?
No.
Oh.
No.
Come to think of it, I haven't seen The Mummy either.
Anyway. So I didn't remember the books being involved, and I like that Evie,
I like that Evie was incompetent and got a lot of people killed.
No, I like that she wasn't perfect.
Oh God, at the beginning
she's super smart.
Yeah.
And loves learning, and you know she's all book smarts and whatnot. But she's definitely she wants to be an adventurer.
Yes.
But she does not have the qualifications.
No, she's
to
physically
do so.
inept.
Oh yeah. She breaks an entire library.
Yeah.
And then just leaves ridiculous. It. Like that, just like walks away.
She's pretty horrible. I mean,
yeah, she kind of is.
Ugh, that Evie.
Her brother's worse.
Yeah, they weren't very.
Her brother's a thief.
Reputable. Yeah,
he's a dishonest.
But what's worse is he's clearly they have money, so he's like.
Yeah. He's
like when like fucking Winona Ryder got caught stealing like the clip. Like he just steals for the fuck of it.
For the
like he's like, oh, you know, all this treasure, all greedy man, and then like they're fucking rich. He's rich though.
He's rich.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he has money.
Like what an ass. He's like an evil version of Scrooge McDuck. There,
right?
He's the Flintheart Glumgold of the Mummy.
Sounds like him too.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
He's not Scottish.
Yeah, he is.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought they were supposed to be like British.
He's got more of a Scottish accent.
I thought he was from Britland.
Britland. Yeah.
Not Scottishire. Scottshire. He's not from the Shire.
We are.
Hillshire Farms.
Well, I am.
You're from the Shire?
Yeah.
Oh, New Hampshire.
Get it?
I get it.
I'm from the New Shire.
The New Shire. Yeah, New Jack City. New.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So.
Yeah, but so I liked. I really. It's a shame that Brendan Fraser kind of went AWOL because he was good.
Yeah,
I liked Brendan. I forgot this movie made me remember how much I like Brendan Fraser. Well, especially like in this kind of role, he had that like swagger to him. Mm-hmm. What was that part that I loved? Oh, when the mummy yelled at him,
and he yells back
and just racks his shotgun and blasts him. That was awesome. I have to say that was a genuinely amazing cinematic moment. I loved that because that took me right back to the very first Star Wars. when Han Solo and Chewbacca have like 6 stormtroopers on the run just because they're yelling. They're going, ah! Running down the corridor in the humor until they hit like a wall and then turn around. And then you see them coming back down the corridor as like Luke and Leia, like, what the hell happened? They're running back. Ah! And then they've ruined it in the special edition because instead of hitting a dead end, the stormtroopers hit like a room where there's like 1 million stormtroopers. Like totally overkill.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
Silly.
Special editions for anything but.
Yeah. The Mummy was good.
The not so special editions. Yes, The Mummy was very good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite thoroughly. I thoroughly enjoyed The Mummy. Did you notice that the mummy was not a mummy?
Oh yeah, he's not.
His priests are.
Yep.
It said they were mummified.
Yes.
But he was not.
No,
he was buried alive with the fucking beetles that were supposed to eat him forever, which was gross. But then again, he did kill the pharaoh after fucking his wife. No, not even his wife, his mistress.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, as soon as I saw that at the beginning, I was like, I was right when I said before. It was, he really did dip his ink into the company pools.
Yep.
Or, whatever. He did the nasty with the boss's wife, whatever.
Pretty much.
That's, he fucking working girled it. Well, except that was the boss's husband, but whatever. I had a point, but it's buried somewhere deep. Like a good old deer tick. It's buried and I can't get it out without the head breaking off under my arm. So that metaphor was pretty gross.
Yeah, it was.
That's what you come here for though, right? Grossness.
Total grossness. All the grossness.
Trossness. So let's look at the parent's guide to the Mummy.
The Mummy.
The Mummy. The Mummy! Are you my mummy? Thought I was going to go the whole time without making a Dr. Seuss reference and Doctor Who's reference.
What?
Nothing. Just said a Doctor Who reference. That's what I meant to say. You know that, are you my mummy?
Oh, yeah.
But instead I said Dr. Seuss, because I don't know. Alright. Let's see. I'm counting most of this anyways. This whole episode's going to be like 20 minutes long. Sex and... excuse me. Parents Guide. I'm going to switch to my sexy deep voice. Parents Guide. Sex and nudity. 4 out of 10. A woman has a affair with the villain. An excuse me, let me try that again. A woman has a affair with the villain. An ancient Egyptian woman wears only body paint and jewelry at the beginning of the movie. Her bottom is shown, but other sensitive regions are covered. She is uncovered, as having an affair when her body paint is found smudged. Her husband asking angrily, "Who touched you?" But it's only smudged on her shoulder. I don't see how that... Okay. Violence and Al Gore. 5 out of 10. Violence throughout. The various mummies, crazy men, and zombie-like beings in this movie are shot, stabbed, blown apart, and set on fire. But no blood is present. In the beginning, a man has his tongue cut out and is mummified alive. Another man pours a jar full of scarabs in his sarcophagus, and it's mentioned later that they slowly ate him alive. In an uncut version, a man is hung, but he doesn't die. He is seen being strangled by the rope in a few instances. Wait, in an uncut... That was an uncut version we watched where he was hung? I thought that was the regular one. A booby trap in a tomb spits out salt acid on diggers who try to open it. They are seen screaming in pain as their skin melts. Yeah. A mummy is seen after the first 25 minutes of the movie. He is shown dead, and still looks dead, as he goes around using people's flesh to bring him back to life. Kind of like an old classic horror movie, only much more gruesome. Kind of like an old classic horror... What?
Okay.
A man is shown with his eyes and his tongue cut out. Alright, I just want to add, again, just to stress, the guy with his eyes cut out, that was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And it was actually weirder without there being blood.
Uh-huh.
That just kind of freaked me out when he turned around and they actually showed it. The same man who had his eyes and tongue cut out later is shown without his flesh. Still, believe it or not, there is no blood. The same thing happens with 3 other men. A man has a scarab beetle crawl under his flesh. We hear him screaming in pain as a lump moves around under his skin. Imhotep's arm is chopped off, and he puts it back. Profanity, 2 out of 10. Some mild language. Uses of God's name in vain. Ooh.
Oh, no.
Sons of bitches. Bastards. Other uses. Alcohol. Drugs. Smoking. Yes, yes, and no. 3 out of 10. The explorers drink and some smoke. A man discovers a bottle of whiskey and several characters share it, including a woman who becomes visibly tipsy, swaying and becoming rather loopy. Oh, they showed a woman drinking. That's wrong. Frightening / intense scenes, 5 out of 10. Pretty frightening for young viewers. This movie is frightening and gross to some viewers. For that reason and for the nudity, it's for teens and up, 13 plus. Well, there you go. It's a pretty salacious film.
Totally.
It's a salacious crumb of a film. So, Heather, in your estimation, does The Mummy hold up?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, I still enjoy it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You think it's still a good movie today? As good as it was in 1999?
I do.
Excellent.
I do. I think it's fun.
Shoot.
You are a bastard.
I Am Bastard. Is that like I Am Legend? That's the sequel
Yes.
to I Am Legend.
You
I
are
Am
Bastard.
I too think that the
Can't believe you just did that.
Okay, it was an accident.
I know, I'm just kidding.
What was I saying? I don't even remember. Oh. I too believe that The Mummy holds up. I don't know if it's... I don't know if it's so much, because, like I said, I don't remember really being that enamored with it early on. So I don't know if it's so much that I really feel like it's a better movie now than I did before, or if I just have a nostalgic craving for movies from a simpler time that didn't either take themselves super seriously or the opposite, not play things straight at all and joke about the whole thing and have all that clever self-aware humor. So I think it might just be where, I was watching, I was like, okay, here's just a straight up action movie with some jokes, like Indiana Jones, but none of the jokes are like, winking at the audience or anything like that. And the action, it's not like every scene is 1 second long and it just switches to, that's like the weird sort of contradiction. Movies seem to be getting longer, which you would think would go against the whole idea that our attention spans are getting shorter, thanks to, well, they used to say MTV, but, YouTube and whatnot.
Right.
And yet, I remember hearing somewhere, like, the average, what would you call it, a scene, a cut, I don't know, but the average, like, the camera focusing on one thing without switching angles or is like a second now, where it used to be, like, 5 seconds or something like that. I don't know how long ago, but when you watch it actually looking for that, you do notice it. They say that about the Transformers movies and action movies, but when you're actually looking for it and watch it, you're like, oh my god, yeah, it's like it shows. Like you watch something like I don't want to shit on the Marvel movies because I do like them, but and Captain America: Civil War. I'm sorry. Not Captain America Civil.
Winter Soldier?
Thank you. Captain America Winter Soldier. I watched, I think it was like a video or something on YouTube where they were talking about this, and I totally get it. It's a great movie, but there's this fight on I think it was like on a boat where Cap sneaks on and he takes out like all these people, and it's great until when you look at it, like every single shot, it moves around so much. Like the fight, if you were to piece it together, actually doesn't make any sense. Because it'll be like he'll throw his shield one way and then it'll switch to an angle where it's coming back from a different direction, and it's like he'll throw a punch and it'll switch to an angle where another guy's like it just like it's this whole jumble of like just frantic kinetic moves. It just jumps around so much. And then the reason that things like for another Marvel thing, that I think in the video they were comparing that to the fight scene in Daredevil from the second episode of the first season, where they were actually copying not copying it, but like doing their version of like an homage to the fight scene in Old Boy that was all one take. But so there's like this hallway fight scene that's all one take that it's cool because you're not cutting away every every second. And so again, watching The Mummy, I'm not saying, let's see, 99, I'm not saying it was like at the pace of like a Robert Altman movie or something. I picked that because he usually has a pretty lackadaisical, like, directing style. So I'm not talking about, like, long, scenes. Or, we could go back to fucking Star Trek, the motion picture, like I did last time. Talk about, I'm not talking about, that back in 99 you would have gotten, like, 10-second scenes of just staring at the fucking Enterprise and shit like that. Like, they get to the mummy sarcophagus and we spent a lot of money on this fucking tomb, so we're just gonna show it for, like, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's not, like, jumping around like a fucking 13-year-old, hopped up on Ritalin, just fucking took the film, let's pretend film still exists, and just, like, chopped it up with a razor blade and, like, taped it back together real quick before, like, his dad found out that, that he had done. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, that's another reason why I really liked The Mummy, because I like, that there was, it wasn't quite so... Oh, I lost my train of thought.
So
I don't know. Movies today suck. Okay, is what I'm saying. Every movie that comes out right now is shit. No, it's totally not true. I'm not that type of person, actually. There's a lot of good movies still coming out.
Yes.
I just like to rant. But not a lot like The Mummy, and that's why I liked it, because it was I've always been a fan of, like, the Indiana Jones movies and whatnot. And,
yeah, ditto.
I welcome something like this if it does it well. I still won't give National Treasure a shot, because it just looks horrid. But something like this, nice period piece. Librarians looks like garbage as well.
My mom loves that.
Yeah, and you love National Treasure.
I do.
But it just looks like garbage.
I love National Treasure just...
because it's garbage.
Yeah. Just because.
You just love Nick Cage.
I do.
Oh, man.
He's amazing.
He is amazing. But so is Brendan Fraser, and I really wish that he would make a comeback. All I ever see... Do you I don't know if you'll agree with this, but so all I've seen of Brendan Fraser, and I haven't gone out of my way to look up pictures of him now, but all I see of him is every so often in, like, my Facebook feed. There's one of those articles from, like, Looper or Ranker or one of those things that, like, it's a sponsor one, and it's one of those, like, look at what the stars look like now. And it's always the same picture of Brendan Fraser, overweight, walking through the parking lot, and it looks like he's balding.
Oh my god.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Have
No,
you seen this picture?
I've not seen this
I'll have
picture.
to I'll have to find it, but it's always an article, like, from a different site saying, like, Brendan, look what happened to Brendan Fraser or something. Like, that's all I ever see of him now.
Yeah.
Is that one stupid fucking picture. So I mean, I hope he's doing better than that.
I'm sure he
If
is.
there's a Hollywood heaven, then I hope that Brendan Fraser is comfortable there. Because
not dead.
though he may he might not be, but his career is.
Oh my god. Poor Brendan Fraser.
And with that, let's see, are we ready to go? We have another Shameless tie-in for next week, in time for, or right around the time of, I haven't checked, Transformers The Last Night. We are going to do the original Transformers movie. And no, I don't mean the first Michael Bay Transformers from, like, 2010. I mean
No Sam
Transformers. Yeah, I mean well, actually.
Oh, alright.
No. Is he in? I forget. Now you got me screwed up, because that character might be... Whatever. We're doing the cartoon Transformers, the movie.
You got the touch.
Dun, 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 dun. You got the power. Oh man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Can you believe that's the last film of Orson Welles? It's Orson Welles' last film.
What a film to go out on.
Yep, he plays Unicron. But we'll dive into that more next week. It's sure to be a good one. So I hope you sat through this, Drek, because next week is going to be better. All right, and also we are working on. I just want to throw in there. We're working on setting up a Patreon. So if you like what we do, you like what you hear, and you think, "Geez, those guys over at What's the Hold Up are good kids, and I would like to give them some money so that they can continue doing the poopy jokes and being good kids and doing the funny fuck words and talk about the movies," then you can. Hopefully it'll be up soon. So, you know, go over to Patreon and look up What's the Holdup. If you're typing in our name, don't forget there is a question mark at the end. And if it's not up, well then, goddamn, I guess you'll just have to try again like the next day and then the day after that till it is up. And then, goddamn it, give us some money, please, because we need.
Give us your dollars.
We don't want to pirate movies anymore. We want to actually rent them from Amazon or Google Play or something. Or buy them from a fucking flea market or a old Asian gypsy man who sold me a mogwai last week.
Did you just say old Asian gypsy man?
I did. I was trying not to be racially offensive by not saying, and I think by combining the two, I think I'm either canceled out the stereotype or made it worse.
I'm gonna go with worse.
Worse or better? Okay. And with that, we bid you farewell. We're still looking for a proper sign-off for What's the Holdup, so if you have any ideas, let us know. There's been a few doozies so far. We're going to compile them together and have people vote on them soon. So I'm hoping to get a couple more other than, let's see, I think the best one we got so far was We're Sorry. So, you know. Until next week, hold it up. Keep on holding.
Keep on holding.
Keep on holding. Goodbye.
Love you, bye.
You ought to see what they did to my mummy. Pulled his organs out of his tummy, put him in spice, whacked him in a jar, painted him up with sticky tar, wrapped him in linen from his head to his toes, pulled his brains out of his nose. That's not all the embalmers did. They buried my mummy in a pyramid. Ancient Egypt down by the Nile. Mummy's going to be in a tomb for a while. Fair go Pharaoh, it's not funny. Tell King Tut I want my mummy. Mummy's in a coffin of shining gold, lying in a tomb that's dark and cold. Jewels and treasures he'll never see, 'cause he's half the mummy he used to be. Dead as a doornail, blind as a bat, with a mummified dog and a mummified cat. Don't ask me what my daddy thinks, 'cause his chariot's parked at the local Sphinx. Ancient Egypt down by the Nile. Mummy's gonna be in a tomb for a while. Fair go Pharaoh, it's not funny. Tell King Tut I want my mummy. Some fellas with spades and a torch to see were doing some archaeology. They saw a glimmer, they dug some more, couldn't believe the things they saw. Ancient paintings, priceless jewels. They gave a shout and dropped their tools, but the greatest treasure they found by far was a wrinkling mummy with his guts in a jar. Ancient Egypt down by the Nile. Mummy's gonna be in a tomb for a while. Fair go Pharaoh, it's not funny. Tell King Tut I want my mummy. Ancient Egypt down by the Nile. Mummy's gonna be in a tomb for a while. Fair go Pharaoh, it's not funny. Tell King Tut I want my mummy. Tell King Tut I want my mummy. Tell King Tut I want my mummy.